All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in Treasure Valley, Idaho. It has my heart. It's the best part of Idaho, in my personal opinion, just from everything that I live, breathe, and see every day living in the area. I just can't speak enough about Treasure Valley. So we're going to be talking about the pros and cons. We're going to be talking about a little bit more than that. But with that being said, this is going to be a great video. So make sure you guys stay tuned and let's dive into the content. So as far as where Treasure Valley is located, which we already talked about, Southwest region, and the name Treasure Valley, it actually comes from a gentleman named Pete Olson, who owned a seed company and served as the president of the board of a coalition of chambers of commerce back in 1959. So I know this is way before our time, but just so you guys know where the name Treasure Valley came from, this is the guy that came up with it. And the reason why he named it, because he wanted to name it after the treasure chest of resources that the Treasure Valley offered. And more so the resources and opportunities. So if you know, Idaho is damn near the land of the free, home of the brave, and all that good stuff. But as far as what I mean by that is, Idaho just has so much growth, and this particular area right now is one of the top growing areas in the nation. So it's just growing so fast, so rapidly, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later in the video. But as far as where the name came from, Treasure Valley, it did come from our guy named Pete. So shout out to Pete for the name. But now let's get back to the content. So now with Treasure Valley being located so centrally compared to where the capital of Boise is, and what falls inside of the Treasure Valley, you're going to have Boise, Meridian, Emmett, Kuna, Middleton, Nampa, Star, and Caldwell, which are all cities within the same radius. Some of them are going to be smaller towns, some of them are going to be more populated. So population wise, we have Boise, which is in first place in the state of Idaho, then Meridian, who is backing it, because obviously Meridian actually backs Idaho, as you can see in the map here. And then you're going to have some of your less populated towns like Mountain Home, Nampa, and those cities. So that is who is within the Treasure Valley area. So now let's talk about entertainment. So now entertainment wise, Treasure Valley is growing, as I said, rapidly. We just got Top Golf out here. We just got our first In-N-Out as far as the food side of things. You're going to have a lot of outdoor recreational activities, from snowboarding to skiing to trail bike riding to just a bunch of amenities outside. Or if you're into hunting, that's a huge one out here. So as far as entertainment, you have everything that a city would offer you, just on a smaller scale. And then you also have things that you would get more from an outdoorsy kind of point of view. You have city charm, and you also have more of an outdoor lifestyle. So you can get the best of both worlds if you like both the outdoors and still being close to having amenities and being able to enjoy a social life. So in that aspect, entertainment wise, we're going to talk a little bit more about nightlife. So now nightlife wise, Boise is going to be the central hub as far as having a downtown and just bars and clubs and being able to bar crawl or whatever you may be into as far as the nightlife. Boise's going to offer that. And then Meridian also has a decent nightlife that is starting to grow as well. But as far as where it's best, it's going to be in Boise, downtown wise. And now as far as that, as long as it's not a special day, there's no cost to entry. You don't have to worry about dress code or anything of that nature. However, I would play it safe still, because you never know. But when there is special events going on, they may charge you to enter clubs and things of that nature. Or you can always just go to a bar and enjoy a drink. And I do want to add that Boise does throw a lot of events as far as bar crawls around the year. And it's just really fun. You see a lot more opportunity as far as what they offer in the breweries, or when they have special sponsors come out and things of that nature. So if you're into the bar scene, then you'll definitely have a lot of fun in Treasure Valley, Idaho. Now let's talk a little bit about the economy of the Treasure Valley. So economy wise, like I said, Treasure Valley is growing, it's rapid. There's so many different businesses that are starting to relocate to Idaho and really start setting up shop here, as far as growing corporations or growing small mom and pop shops, just a little bit of everything in the business side of things. And most of what the economy looks like as far as job opportunity is going to be healthcare, education, software technology. So there's a little bit of a spread as far as what you're looking for. And in the Treasure Valley itself, there's just a lot of employment opportunities. So you don't really have to necessarily worry about if you're going to be able to find a job. It's just about finding the one that makes sense to you and what you're trying to accomplish as far as lifestyle. With that being said, Treasure Valley does have one of these stronger economies, especially with Mountain Home having the base, the military base, and just all the growth coming from Micron expanding from Boise all the way to Mountain Home, and just all the different things that are going on in the economy world. I would say there's probably nothing that could potentially affect it. I would love to say it's bulletproof, but you never know what may happen in the craziness of this world. But for the most part, you can trust that the economy is holding up very strongly out here in the Treasure Valley. School-wise in the Treasure Valley is kind of affected by the state of Idaho. As you may or may not know, Idaho doesn't rank the highest as far as education, but I believe that the Treasure Valley does offer a good diversity as far as education, from private schooling to public schools to charter schools to even homeschooling, because I know a lot of people are really big on what their children are being taught nowadays, and I think it's very crucial that parents have a say in what they're learning about and things of that nature. So as far as education, it doesn't rank the highest. However, in the state of Idaho itself, I would say Treasure Valley's school and education is very strong as far as ranking within the state of Idaho. Now, before I dive into the next topic, I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Idaho. So here's my phone number and email. Feel free to contact me via call, text, or email. I am the one that personally answers all messages and emails. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and I would love to help you guys with your home buying needs. Now, with that being said, let's dive into home prices and the style of homes in the Treasure Valley. As of January 2024, the median house price in the Treasure Valley as a whole is $440K. So if you're coming from Washington or California or Denver or areas like that, it's a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable for a lot of people to purchase a home. However, if you're coming from maybe the eastern side of things, where maybe you're coming from North Carolina or Alabama or somewhere out there, it may be a lot more expensive compared to what you're seeing. But the good thing is, taxes wise, it's a lot cheaper as far as property tax, so it does offset a little bit of the cost. There's also homeowner exemptions as far as if it's your primary home you're living in, they won't tax you on $150,000 of the property's worth as far as what they assess the property value to be. Now, as far as home types in the Treasure Valley, you have a pretty wide range of diversity in architecture, the type of homes. Does it come with land or does it come in a townhome? You're gonna see all of it. You're gonna see homes with acreage, you're gonna see homes with farms, you're gonna see homes that are townhomes, you're gonna see homes that are in subdivisions that are crammed. You're just gonna see a little bit of everything. So it's more so based off of what you're looking for in a home, right? Are you looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with at least a quarter acre, right? Or do you want somewhere that's closer to downtown Boise? Or do you wanna live in a condo so you can wake up and see downtown and see the city of Boise every day, right? You can find any and all kinds of homes in the Treasure Valley. It just depends on what you're looking for, and having that conversation with your real estate agent who can help you find exactly what you're looking for and negotiate on your behalf to get you the best deal possible. Now, with all that being said, I know I threw a lot of information at you guys, but now we're gonna dive into the pros and cons of living in the Treasure Valley, Idaho area. So to kick it off, I know we talked about it a little bit, and we're probably gonna talk about a couple of things we've already discussed. They're all gonna go kind of hand in hand with living in Treasure Valley. So starting off with number one is gonna be taxes. Taxes are just a lot cheaper, and for those of you that count your dollars and not your pennies and dimes, this is going to be the area that you love, because as far as the rest of the nation, across the United States, taxes are going to be a lot cheaper, especially when you compare it to a state like California, where you have a 5.8% income tax and a 6% sales tax. So it's a lot cheaper, to where some people even feel like they may be stealing, but in all reality, you're just paying a lot less on taxes, which means a lot more money in your pockets, so you can do the things that you love to do on a day-to-day basis. Next pro, which I'm personally not so much of a pro of, is going to be the 4-season weather. Now, me personally, I prefer a nice, warm, all season round type weather. However, Idaho does have 4-season weather. So we have a winter, and then we have a summer, we have a spring, and we have a fall. So we have all 4 seasons. I know that wasn't in order, so don't judge me for that. But overall, we do have 4-season weather, and some people love it, some people hate it. Some people love doing their summer and winter sports. Some people love to hunt in the spring, some people love to hunt in the fall. Whatever the season may be, or whatever tags are available during those seasons, you do get a little bit of everything. So for those of you that love having all 4-season weather, that is going to be a pro and a con, which we will talk about later. But for a lot of people, that is a pro. So we're going to dive into the next pro, which is going to be a growing economy. So as the economy continues to grow, the business is booming, and job opportunities continue to come out, we're seeing more and more people be able to find jobs, especially in the medical, education, and technology side of careers. We are seeing a lot of growth and expansion, especially with St. Luke's being such a big hospital provider here in the Treasure Valley area. More and more specialty doctors coming out here. It is definitely a growing and booming economy, especially with as much growth in corporations we have shifting over to the Treasure Valley. And I do want to add in there, Treasure Valley also does have a significantly lower unemployment rate, which is also proof that the economy is truly booming in the local area. Now, another pro we're going to talk about today is going to be safety. Idaho, specifically as a state, is safe. But in Treasure Valley, Idaho, even with the higher population, crime is definitely at a lower rate than across the nation. So as far as safety and well-being and being able to go walk outside or not lock your car and things of that nature, you are generally safe in the area of the Treasure Valley, because I personally, on accident, have left my garage door open for 11 days in a row, unintentionally. I know it sounds silly, but even then, nothing has ever happened. I've never been a part of anything as far as violence or just in general crime. I just haven't seen a lot of activity, and it's proven with the statistics as well. So with that being said, that is going to be another pro. Now, we talked about growing economy, but another pro is going to be the growing entertainment side of the things. So I'm talking about food, dining, entertainment, nightlife. Everything is growing. We're getting more and more things. Just like I said, we have a Topgolf here now. The first In-N-Out in the state of Idaho was just built in Meridian. Whether you're an In-N-Out fan or not, personally I am, because I love a cheap, good fast food burger. Remember, it's just fast food, it's not gourmet. So I know people love to have that back and forth argument about if In-N-Out is good or garbage. Personally, I think it's good, but we're not going to dive too much into that. But as far as the food diversity and the entertainment diversity, we're starting to see a lot of growth, and we're starting to see a lot more mom and pop shops. We're seeing a lot more food chain restaurants come out here, and it's just the overall diversity of food, which I personally am a huge foodie, so I'm very excited to see it all and continue to explore all the great things that come with the growth of food and entertainment side of things, which a lot of people may not believe when you read there's friendly people out there. Idaho does have a huge reputation for a lot of friendly people being in the area. And when I say friendly people, I'm talking about people say excuse me. I'm talking about people open doors for you. People ask how your day is going. And it's honestly it was a little bit of a change for me personally, where, you know, I came from an area where, you know, you kind of had to be cautious of what the person next to you was doing and keep your eyes on the lookout and things of that nature, to where I moved here and people were so friendly. It almost was weird and scary at the same time, but it's true. People are just a lot more nicer in the state of Idaho, especially in the Treasure Valley area, where a lot more people are welcoming, and I just can't beat it. Now, another pro, and the final pro we're going to talk about, is a lot more freedom and leniency as far as laws and things of that nature. So as far as gun rights, it's an open carry state, Treasure Valley included, right? It's an open carry area where gun rights are a lot more lenient. There's going to be a lot more freedom as far as how you decide to live your life, and a lot of people really appreciate that, because as you know, California is a lot more stricter on the laws, or there's a lot more restraints and things of that nature. People just want to be able to live their lives and make their own decisions, and Idaho is that perfect area, especially the Treasure Valley area, where you see a little bit of everything, full transparency, and people love it. So with that being said, that's going to be another pro. Now we're going to dive a little bit into the cons. So some of the cons may be cons in some people's eyes, but they may also be pros in others' eyes. I'll let you guys decide. So let's dive into the cons. Con number one is going to be the rapid population growth. Now, this is something I personally don't mind. Now, I will say commute times and things of that nature may get a little busier, especially around 5 p.m. traffic, when, you know, you got the interstate full, or you may be backed up for a couple extra minutes. But as far as commute times overall, Treasure Valley is on the lower end of commute times, especially across the nation. We're looking at about 26 to 27 minute commute time, depending on where you're going. Now, on top of that, with the rapid population growth, there's going to be a lot more demand than there is supply. So that will also be taking effect, which in that aspect, there is definitely cons associated with that. But there's definitely more to come as we talk a little more about the other cons that we're discussing today. Another con in the Treasure Valley is going to be the limited public transportation. Public transportation is not necessarily where it should be, or nearly hasn't been, as Idaho has definitely expanded significantly as far as population growth, especially being ranked number 6 as far as relocation from other states in the nation. Treasure Valley is just a very desirable area for a lot of people relocating to Idaho right now, and it is going to continue to fill up. And with that being said, the public transportation is not able to keep up with the demand. As I said, supply, demand. Now, I will add that as far as the buses and public transportation may not make up for it, there's Uber, there's Lyft, there's all your personal use transportation as far as that aspect. So it's not as much of a trouble due to the lack of public transportation to still be able to get around. And then another con, as we talked a little bit about it already, the education being ranked so low is going to be a con. Now, like I said, there's a very diversified portfolio as far as education, so you can always pick and choose and do your research as far as where you want yourself or your children to attend school, whether it be universities and college, or just for smaller children of all ages, right? So I would do your research as far as the school districts and things of that nature. And if you need a link to help you with your search, and I'll be more than happy to provide you guys with that. So that will make it on the cons list. But the next one is going to be one of the biggest issues. And before we start diving into it, I do want to reiterate one more time that I am a licensed real estate agent, and I would love to help you guys with your home buying needs if you plan on relocating to the Treasure Valley, Idaho, or surrounding areas. So here's my phone number once again. Make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, whatever you need to do, or shoot me a text and give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you with your home buying needs. And now with that being said, let's talk about the next con, which is going to be low housing inventory. So now in Treasure Valley itself, housing inventory will only last for the next 2 months if there was no more listings to come on market before we run out of houses to sell. So what that means is typically in a healthier market or a neutral market, you're gonna see about 6 months worth of inventory of houses before we need to build more or put more on the market. Now, Idaho is definitely on the lower end of things, which means it's a seller's market, but not necessarily to the point where you can't get seller's concessions right now or get a little bit off the listing price, which if you want to talk a little bit more about that, like I said, I am an agent. I'd be more than happy to dive into that with you guys, specifically based off the area you're looking at. But it is a huge problem in Idaho, and they are building homes faster than we can keep up with, especially with as much growth as we're having and the population growth as we discussed earlier in the video. You're just going to notice that houses are being more built faster and faster, and just due to a dire need of more homes in the Treasure Valley. Now, the final con we're going to talk about is going to be extreme weather. As I said, I personally am a summer guy. I like the smooth, warm weather where I don't have to put too much clothes on, but I can still dress with shorts and go have a good time, just enjoy the sun. But with that being said, extreme weather as far as triple-digit heat and sometimes even negative below freezing weather as well is all factors as far as cons for some people. But as long as you prepare for it mentally and then physically dress to what the weather looks like, then I believe that you will be more than fine as far as the extreme weather aspect. So with that being said, those are the pros and cons of living in Treasure Valley, Idaho. Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. I do want to ask you guys for a huge favor. If you could do me the biggest favor in the world, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for more videos weekly just like this. As you know, we cannot wait to help you guys as you get ready to transition to the beautiful state of Idaho. So thank you guys for tuning in to another video. We will see you guys on the next one.